The toss was won by...
the JDF won the toss, and they'll be bowling.
Inserted St. Mary.
Like Leslie and Gordon Bryan in your lineup, you are tempted to bowl first. Gordon Bryan, he was given a contract by the Jamaica Scorpions this year for the next regional 4-day competition. Would have played 4-day cricket for Jamaica before. I think he made his debut here at Sabina Park a couple of years ago. Nice, fluent bowler in his stride, gets the ball to nip around as well. Is not necessarily express pace, but quick enough, and when you get the ball to move, you can be dangerous. And he picked up 4 wickets in that semi-final against the Kingston team. And once again, on this Sabina Park track with some grass on it, the ball will bounce a little bit more, will carry a little bit more, that he could very much factor well in this one.
All right, so the St. Mary openers are currently at the crease. And we're just awaiting the graphics to come up to tell us who is who, I suppose you could put it.
Yeah. So it's usually Alvin Williams who opens the batting. Chilumba and Orlando Lions. Orlando Lions, by the way, they play for the same local T20 team in Boscobel. They have a quarter-final in a week or so in the local T20 competition, the SDC T20 competition. And these two, they're pretty solid at the top and would have had a number of partnerships over 100 throughout their playing years. And Lions is actually the captain of the Boscobel team, so it shows his worth. Alvin Williams, the left-handed batsman, will be facing first up, and a Jamaica Scorpions batsman to that.
All right, so is that Brian who will be opening the attack?
No, it looks to be Leslie who will open the attack from this George Headley end, or the Michael Holding end.
Right, I feel a regulation feel at the moment. Looks to be 2 slips, somebody at point, cover mid-off. And then there's a mid-on, a man just short at mid-wicket. Just back with a square and a widest long leg. So there's lots of G'ing up. We're about to witness the first ball. Leslie seems to be doing some running repairs on the boots. And Alvin Williams will take first strike. First 10 overs, only 2 people can be outside the mandatory circle. Here's the first ball. Oh, that's pulled away audaciously. What a way to start. Good morning, Mr. JDF opening bowler.
Yeah, Leighton Lester there going for the short ball first up. And as we said about Sabina Park, in general, it's quicker. We all know that. Has a lot more bounce. But it's important that they don't allow that to get to their head and bowl short. Because I'll tell you what, Alvin Williams is a very attacking batsman, and you can't bowl short to him.
That was pulled with disdain almost. It has already prompted a feeling change. A man has gone all the way back on the square leg boundary. That plus the long leg are the 2 people out. Here's Leslie again. That one was much better in the channel and left alone.
And you talk about learning lessons. Leslie, they're learning a lesson pretty early, and as we look back at it, a short delivery and just quickly onto it was Alvin Williams. They call him Chilumba, made 70-odd in that semi-finals against Kensington. That proved to be pivotal and leading his team home to victory.
How Leslie will respond. Second delivery was quite good. And again, not forcing Alvin Williams into a shot. Seems to have found his radar after that opening short delivery. Much better line there. Probably better length as well.
Yeah, this one pitched up a little bit more, and again just outside the off stump, maybe round about 5th stump or 6th stump. And you saw the ball there after it passed Alvin Williams just coming back. So he wants to pull that length back, try to get Alvin Williams to drive through the cover region and maybe go through bat and pad.
Oh, that definitely some movement on that. Tennis ball bounced through to the keeper, but you could definitely see the ball shaping away, and there's a genuine away movement from the left-hander.
Yeah, back of a length this time, just as I said before, just pulling his length back here Leighton Leslie, and again beating Alvin Williams. But you got a boundary from the first delivery. No need to really push the scoring just yet. You have to see what is happening, see what it is that the JDF have on offer.
Here's Leslie again. And again, genuine movement. The pitch doesn't appear to be particularly quick at the moment, which is probably why Leslie could reel off that audacious pull shot.
I'm a bit surprised looking at the field setting umpire Chris Taylor there from this Michael Holting end, because they have deep backward square. Maybe that's for the short ball. There's a fine leg in place as well, but there's only a slip and a gully.
Oh, he played at that. He probably want to tell you that he kept his back just in line, but genuine movement away and a few words being exchanged. Friendly, we hope, between Leslie and Alvin Williams. End of the first over. Here it is, Renato, touching down and genuinely angling away. He may have just kept his bat in line and didn't attempt to play, but that was a good delivery. It
was a good delivery to end the over, having conceded the boundary of the first ball. But again, you saw that delivery there, pitched round about middle and off and moving across the left-handed Alvin Williams. But with one slip and a gully, you're now looking, if he does get that outside edge, the ball could go in between that gap and get to the boundary of a 4. If Leslie is going to operate round about that length and that line, at least you can give him a second slip.
Especially when he's genuinely getting the ball to angle away from the left-handed batsman.
Yeah,
that's surprising. I agree.
It is surprising. I don't think they'll be making the same mistake this time, because they've gone with 2 slip here to the bowler coming from the Courtney Walsh end. But we'll see what will happen.
Yeah, 2 slips, gully point, cover mid off, and the 2. Only a fine leg outside the circle at the moment. Good delivery there.
And getting the ball to nip back there. Left arm seamer from over the wicket. As we look back at it, his run is kind of deceiving. He starts wide, then angles into the stumps. And when you have a left arm seamer bowling that way, you can get the ball to pitch roundabout off stump and then come back to the right-hander. So Orlando Lions have to be careful here. And another delivery that...
The ball is Tyrone Burton.
Yeah, beats him outside the off stump.
Another good delivery that. Pitch does seem to be offering some kind of sideways movement.
And this knows that, well, I won't say strange, because I may understand the thinking here, that he will try to go a little bit fuller as opposed to Leighton Leslie from this end. But the 2 deliveries so far angling into the right-handed batsman now looks as if he's going to try to push it across him.
That's down to leg side, wide signaled. And that makes the total 5 without loss in over number 2.
Yeah, 5 without loss after 1.2. But again, I'm not understanding this from Burton, because you're getting the ball to angle into the right-handed batsman. If you're going to go over the wicket, you'll have to start that delivery from outside the off stump.
Burton to try again. Left arm over. That's a heavy sound on bat no ball signaled as well. So the bowling team for the moment not getting it quite right. The previous one down the leg side, this time he overstepped. And there's the umpire signaling no ball. And it's going to be a free hit.
Yeah, so a free hit here. Orlando Lions would be pretty pleased. It will be a nice way to get off the mark, a free hit here. And remember, the field can't change, so they remain with a 2 slip, mid on, mid off. will be looking to go straight here.
Well, he whacks that over straight mid-wicket. That will go all the way. Almost as if he was expecting that to be a short ball. He set himself and really just slapped that over straightish mid-wicket. And it went into the boundary.
Good looking shot from Orlando Lions. As you said, looked as if he expected it because he was waiting on the delivery. I certainly thought that Burton would have gone full. But maybe deciding that he's gone full in this over, that he will go short with this delivery. But the two boundaries that have been conceded as the ball is retrieved have been conceded from short deliveries.
Indeed. I think the umpire was having a quiet word with Tyrone Burton. There he is, about running on too straight down the track. Let's see if Burton, as a result, will go a little bit wider in his follow-through. Here is he again. This time it's driven up the road for a single. And that takes it to 10 without loss. And over number 2.
Missed out there. Orlando Lions, well, it was a full toss. And maybe didn't want to play across the line, but didn't have any power behind the shot. And ended up just getting a single. And a quick single in there. And as it's fielded.
So now the left-handed Alvin Williams comes on strike. And no discernible change in field. Still a 6-3 offside field. 2 steps on a gully. Point cover mid off. And the only man outside the circle at the moment is the man at fine leg. So with a 6-3 offside field, you expect him to be hitting a length just outside off, which he does there. And could deliver that through to the keeper.
Would probably be a bit more inclined to bowl into the left-handed Alvin Williams as opposed to the right-handed Orlando Lions because of the shape that he's getting from the delivery. It's just for him now to maybe pitch that roundabout midland off or off stump and to get it to move away from Alvin Williams to get those 2 slips in play.
Burton with some stutter steps at the top of his mark. And Alvin pulls that round, should be coming back for the second. Again, Renata Brown, almost all the scoring shots have been coming from pulled shots from both the left and the right-handed batsman. End of over number 2. Make that, what's 13.
That? 13 without loss. But again, as you said, the 3 scoring shots that we've seen so far, well, 4 scoring shots, but 3 of the 4, they've been played off the back foot. And Alvin Williams there just trying to pull that one wide off mid-on. Was able to get 2, but JDF, they have to realize that you can't give these batsmen, Lyons and Williams, any short deliveries because they will pounce. And the first 10 overs, the mandatory power play will be so important. And when they do take their bowling power play as well.
Yeah, that one wasn't all that short. Wasn't a long hop by any means, but Alvin Williams is almost waiting on anything short. And Leslie will continue to.
Lions.
Yeah. 2 steps gully. Third man back. And it's now a 7-2 offside field here, Renata Brown. Only the man just behind square and mid-on are on the onside. So Leslie, well, the umpire now is just coming up.
I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if there's some issues with the pitch there. He's just. But I think what is happening is that Orlando Lions is actually batting outside of his crease. So the umpire is saying that if it is that you do come on your front foot because of the distance, that you might very much be in that danger area.
Is an umpire allowed to tell you that you can't bat in your crease? Saw something like that in an Indian game. But let's just watch this delivery. Leslie to Lyons. Can't bowl there. Shot in the air. Could this be out? He is. Leslie celebrates. And Lyons has perished going for another pull shot. And for a minute I thought that it would have been dispatched. But first wicket goes. St. Mary suffering their first wicket. It's now 13 for 1.
Yeah, we spoke about those short deliveries. As we look back at it here, it wasn't short. It was outside the off stump. I'm not saying that you can't play it off the back foot, but Lion should have looked to punch the ball through the offside. But again, maybe that bottom hand dominance coming into play, and they're always looking to score on the onside, and that led to his downfall. So it was back of a length, outside the off stump, a delivery that could have been left, or you punch off the back foot with a straight bat. But Lions here, you could hear the anguish as he walked off the pitch, but he has to think about that now next season. Failing here in this contest, look as if it's Daly who will be coming in and not a left-handed batsman.
I think Lions was the victim of that 7-2 field. The only two people on the onside. In fact, the person who took the catch at Medan was the only person in front of square, and he probably felt if he got any good contact, then there's runs in the offer. As it turned out, he picked out the man who took a decent catch. It's never easy. Running over your shoulder. But JDF are now 13 for 1 as Daly now will come on strike.
Yeah, and maybe the problem with the batsman had crossed, so it looks to be Alvin Williams who is on strike. And still just a solitary slip and gully. Yeah,
Williams is the man on strike. Conventional forward offensive shot. The batsman here, Ronaldo, seems to be looking for the short ball. They're looking to pull. Not too many balls being pitched up at the moment, to be honest, but both opening batsmen are setting out to pull balls that are not even, you would say, out and out short deliveries.
It's not there. Would be interesting to see Leslie around the wicket, just getting that ball to pitch off stump and move away.
Oh, that's well played. Respecting that delivery just on a length, just outside off. And that played out onto the offside. The two men back, fine leg. And the man at deep square, a little bit more conventional in the field. 5 men on the offside, 4 on the on. He cuts that, and that's well stopped by the man at point. JDF right on the money. It's the kind of things that a wicket does for your team. Bubbling in the field at the moment.
Yeah, and they're certainly on top, and that shows that they are on top, the JDF, and they do play hard cricket, competitive cricket, the Army men, and you need to back up your bowlers. And Leslie, having taken a wicket already in this over, certainly wouldn't want to concede a boundary.
Bustles away from us again. That's driven up to mid-off. Can't beat the man at mid-off. I think I saw some little movement in the air. Would love to see that one again. One was pitched right up as opposed to some others that we've seen before. The drive was on. Oh, that was the
previous delivery. But that's what you call a sucker delivery. Back of a length, and then this delivery quite full. Asking for the drive.
Now he's going to do what you were asking, over the wicket. Maybe angling in to the left-handed Alvin Williams. Well, round the wicket. He heaved at that. For a minute, I forget that he was the right-handed bowler as opposed to the bowling from the other end. But that was a heave by Williams, missed it. And again, 1 or 2 words being exchanged. It's obvious that Alvin Williams having a word or two with Leslie. What's he saying?
Yeah, front foot went nowhere. And Leslie now walking up towards Alvin Williams and will go past. Has a real touch there and a few words to Daly as well, Tyrone Daly. But again, trying to get into the head of Alvin Williams because they know how important this wicket is. If they pick up Alvin Williams early, then certainly they will feel like they are in this contest. Alvin Williams is the top run scorer for this St. Mary team, having already scored over 578 runs, averaging 82 coming into this final. So his wicket is very important.
All right, so the left arm Burton will continue. from that north stand end. And this time we are seeing a man right out at mid-wicket and a fine leg. These are the two people back, so it wouldn't be unexpected here, Ronaldo, to see another short ball coming.
Yeah, the St. Mary team, they think this is the partnership, by the way. They've changed. Looks to be Levy, who is the new bowler. This is definitely not Burton.
No, this is right-handed, so this is Levy from round the wicket. Oh, that's a horrible delivery. 4 wides, I think, will be signaled. Did he get a bat on it? Yes, he did. Umpire signaling for 4 runs down the leg side. And when you're a batsman and you get that to get off the mark, you thank your lucky stars. This was just a very, very ordinary delivery. Yes, he did get some bats on it.
Yeah, and as I said before, that St. Mary's, they would feel that this is the partnership. They're looking at their top 2 run scorers this season. Together, they've contributed over 800 runs. So this partnership could very much do it for them.
Daly's on 4. And total. Are you seeing the total, Ronaldo? We'll give you that in a while. Levy to Daly. Oh, that was high quality. Good bounce, good carry. And Daly knew very little about that one. Could deliver this.
Yeah, the score should be round about 17 for the loss of 1 following that boundary. But again, has to be consistent. It was a wayward delivery. I'm a little bit surprised that Burton didn't get an additional over. The left arm seamer getting the ball to move, but maybe they're thinking because it's 2 left-handed batsmen, they haven't gone for the left arm seamer. I'm not sure.
They're asking the man at backward square to come all the way inside the circle. Ronaldo, so now only 1 man out of shot. So you're not seeing it, but the backward square that was all the way back has now come inside the circle. We don't expect too many short balls after this. Good delivery in the channel. Well left, but well bowled, and Levy seems to be working up a decent head of steam there. Good carry through to the keeper.
Yeah, nice carry. But again, Daly has to be careful, has to cover his thumbs because it looks as if the bowler is getting the ball to nip back in towards the left-handed batsman. I like the length as well that he's operating, that in-between length.
Here's he again. Good delivery again. So he's found a nice little rhythm, is Levy. He's bowling good channels, good areas. And Daly, for the moment, is biding his time, not prepared to do anything particularly rash at the moment. His team has already lost an early wicket. Good delivery that. Nice little pleasant push up towards mid-off. And Daly held the pose as if to say, I am very confident in behind this one. Mr. Levy came right out of the middle, and as a batsman, when you can stroke it up to mid-off this early on and holding the pose, you're feeling pretty good about life at the moment. Levy again. Pleasantly driven out towards just forward of point. Takes a single. And they're looking quite good at the moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't be displeased with that over from Levy, because what you want to do is that you want to get the batsmen playing. You don't want them to be leaving deliveries outside the off stump. And that over had Daly playing more often than not. And you look at that previous delivery that Daly drove, got the outer portion of the bat, and his front foot didn't exactly come over to cover the delivery with 2 slips in place. If I were Leslie, I'd be pretty pleased with that.
Leslie on 5. Williams on 6. Well, not Leslie. Daly on 5. Alvin Williams on 6, and it is Daly who will take strike. And Leslie it is who will continue. One slip, gully, point, cover mid-off. The fine leg on the back would square the 2 people out. And that was pitched right up and stroked out towards mid-off. And again, Leslie just having a few words. He seems to be in the mood to have a say. As you said, trying to do what the Australians famously dubbed mental disintegration. Here's he again. Oh, short and wide, went for the cut shot. And through to the keeper.
Yeah, nice delivery that time from Leighton Leslie. Has just picked up 6 wickets in the competition, including the wicket of Orlando Lions. So would really want to get stuck in here and make use of this pitch.
Daly comes forward. And it plays out towards cover. Looks to be feeling nice and compact when the balls are pitched up. Seems fairly comfortable coming forward. And has looked competent enough when the deliveries are pitched up to him. Looks to like driving through the offside. Oh. This could be tight. In the end, they take it. Yeah. And another run for Daly, another run to St. Mary.
Almost weighed the ball there, the fielder coming in. As he looked back at it, pushed into the cover region. I think Alvin Williams was late in getting off, and the fielder just wasn't reacting quick enough to effect a run out. In the end, they get an easy single. There was a chance for maybe a second run, but by that time, Alvin Williams was in the dressing room at the north stand.
Momentum had taken him well past the stumps. And that's the total now. Is that 20? Having a little difficulty seeing the scoreboard at the moment. Let's just watch Leslie now to Williams. Pulls that and will not run to the boundary, but they'll take in 1 and they're coming back for 2. Some misfield down in that wide mid-on area. But Williams going for another pull shot. And it's clear, Renato, Alvin Williams is saying anything short, he's going to have a go.
Yeah, that's how he plays, Alvin Williams. He really misses out on those short pitch deliveries.
He's on 8 at the moment. And that one was outside the off stump, wasn't tempting Alvin Williams to play. Through to the keeper. And end of the 5th over. And just having a struggle seeing the scoreboard at the moment. But we make that within the vicinity of maybe 21 runs from 5 overs, St. Mary, after being asked about.
So getting confirmation or for that it's in fact Andre Dennis who's operating from the Courtney Walsh end, number 41.
So this is Dennis, okay. Daly on strike. And works that nicely out forward of square. And should be coming back for the second. Does that quite easily in the end. Moves up to 8 with that. He seems fairly comfortable driving both sides of the wicket, Ronaldo, when it's pitched up.
Yeah.
Didn't try to overhit that. Just coming down on it and just working it nicely.
It does look comfortable, and don't mind the diminutive figure. You can't hit the ball a mile.
Dennis. Oh, that had to be a wide. That means should have been 2 wides. And keeper had to gather well in front of second slip.
I don't think any of his 16 wickets in the competition so far came from a delivery like that. Find it very difficult to believe. Wants to be operating closer to the batsman, closer to Daly, to get him to play like the previous over. He had him playing maybe 5 out of 6 deliveries.
Big and bustling is Dennis. And again, driven up to mid-off. Like we said, Daly looks quite inclined, quite comfortable coming on the front foot and driving both sides of the wicket. But he's not trying to overhit it, Renato. He's, at the moment, preparing to time it away. He's not trying to bludgeon the leather off the ball, which is really what you want to do when the ball is new. Doesn't seem to be as adept at the short balls for the cut shot as he is on the front foot, because this is probably about the 3rd time he attempted the cut shot and didn't manage to lay bat and ball.
Well, you can almost say no based on that these are 2 batsmen of different abilities, because Alvin Williams doesn't miss out on short deliveries.
Works out towards mid-wicket. And like I said, when it's pitched up, he looks fairly competent. Both sides of the wicket. He goes to 9 with that. And still struggling to see the overall score from where we are. There's a... It's 24 for 1, we're being told. And we're in over number 6. So Williams is on 8. The non-striker, Daly, is on 9. And let's see if they'll continue to bowl short, or they'll pitch it up to Williams. He is banging that. That's a lovely shot for extra cover for 4. So he's not just being able to bludgeon them off the back foot. If you pitch up like that, he can hurt you. That is probably the shot of the game so far. It's now 28 for 1.
Most definitely is the shot of the game. A full pitch delivery, Alvin Williams onto the front foot early and just stroking that. Well, really just slamming that through extra cover. No one moved. As we look back at it, that was hit with some amount of disdain.
Williams could be dangerous here. He is cutting down towards 3rd man. We'll be getting some advice in the stands that shouldn't bowl half volley, but the truth is they haven't been bowling a lot of half volleys at Williams. And he gets a single. Takes him up to 14 with that. And we make that, what, 29?
It's up to 13.
Yeah.
He got 5 runs there. It's up to 29, and as I said before, Alvin Williams, and we spoke about this partnership, Alvin Williams, over 500 runs in the competition, the leading run scorer in the competition, 2 centuries, 4 half-centuries in 7 games. So it's just 1 game coming into this final where he hasn't gotten beyond 50 runs. Daly, the 2nd run scorer in this team, you look at the disparity, 260 odd runs, and being the 2nd run scorer, highest run scorer in this team. So over 800 runs between these 2 in the competition. So again, a good total hinges on this pair. And they've started well. They just need to carry on now.
Spin for the first time here, Ronaldo. The batsmen have disposed of the helmets. And we'll be seeing.
It could work out. The wicketkeeper, of course, will get his helmet on. it could work out for the JDF because the ball is still fairly new. You remember in white ball cricket, you no longer use one ball for 50 overs. You use a ball from each end, so the ball would be fairly new, so it would skid off the surface. We've seen some bounce from the fast bowlers. We could very much see some bounce from the spinner, and let's see what they have to offer.
O'Shane Williams is the off spinner who starts with one that's punched up towards mid-off. Did some good work to prevent any runs of his own bowling.
Don't expect the ball to spin here because of the newness of it, but could get some bounce.
Very short run up. That's an attempted tug down the leg side that is signaled a wide.
I'm not really sure of putting pace on the ball. The ball will skid off the surface. That's one. You really want to take pace off.
And again, just on the short side and punched up to that short extra cover position. And no run. And Williams taps away. Forward. And now they've scampered through for a fairly comfortable single in the end.
And that delivery there, Orville had the batsman on the front foot. It was a bit slower, have the batsman on the front foot and got the inner portion of the bat. So that's what I'm saying. The ball is new. It will skid off this fairly hard surface.
Daly on strike. And once a single, offered the single to Williams, who says no. And steered into the offside. O'Shane Williams, the off-spinner, has been reasonably consistent this over. Hasn't bowled too many hittable deliveries as yet. That one is swept away. Lovely shot. That's 4. And that was played with some class by Daly. Sweeping expertly past the man at backward square. And it really rushed down to the north stand for 4.
Had a little bit of Keith Arthurton in that shot with the cap as well. Wonderful shot, just straying on the leg side, and Daly was able to get back onto it. There's a backward square, but he had absolutely no chance there.
All right, what will O'Shane Williams do? Daly taps away. And he's bowled him! Wow! Daly seems to have got everything covered, but somehow the ball sneaks through those defenses. The stumps were clattered, and the JDF have struck again. St. Mary has lost their second wicket, and Daly will have to make the long walk back to the pavilion, bowled for 30.
Don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so. And the difference with that delivery, 31 now for the loss of 2, and it should be a bit more than 31, at least 33 for the loss of 2 now. But that delivery, flighted, didn't have a lot of pace on it. That's one. And because the ball is new, it didn't spin. I think maybe Daly there was playing for some turn from the delivery. It didn't come, just went on with the arm, went through his defense and bowled him. And the St. Mary, they lose their second wicket. And Daly goes for 13. As we look back at it, it was a flighted delivery. So I'm not sure what happened with Daly there. Maybe trying to play for some spin, but just went on with the arm.
So we make it 35 for 2. And music blaring on in the background.
Yeah, the vibe building here at Sabina Park. Maybe building more so for the JDF than building for the St. Mary team here, the defending champion. And no, they really need to get a partnership going at 35 for the loss of 2. still not saying that they're in a position that they need to be worried, but having lost their second highest run score in the competition, maybe it is cause for a little concern. It looks to be Kevin Daly.
As that one is steered out towards that whitish gully position. And 2 more runs to St. Mary. 2 more runs to Williams. Moves on to 60 now. We make that 37 for 2. 7.1 over his ball. And they're appealing. I think that may have maybe just pitching outside leg, you think?
Yeah, just maybe pitching outside leg. And I tell you what, the bowler here was very exciting. By the way, Andre Creary is the new batsman, former youth and West Indies player.
I think that was definitely pitched outside leg. And this time, a little stifled appeal as the ball goes out behind square. Andre Creary was so highly thought of as a schoolboy and as a young youth player. Here's Williams again on strike. And this time he hits that high and hard and way over the boundary at whitish long on. He's deposited that for a huge 6. And that's the way to go, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, Kevin Daly here tossing the ball up. In the slot, by the way, and Alvin Williams won't miss out on that. And just hit it over long on, a whitish long on for 6. And a well-played shot there. And maybe he's just looking. Immediately it prompts a change in the field because the man now long on is going back. And there's deep mid-wicket, so those are the 2 fielders out.
This is interesting. And he's trying to hit that down the ground. He gets an inside edge. It rushes out towards backward square. And they only can get a single. But usually, Renato, the off-spinner, spinning, bowling to the left-hander, you'd expect at least 1 fieldsman in the deep to be on the offside. But they expect Alvin Williams to drag leg side even though the ball is supposedly spinning away from him. And I say supposedly because you've mentioned from earlier that there may not be too much spin on it at this early stage of the game.
Yeah, and I did say that the spinners could very much factor in this with the new ball because it is it's just kissing off the surface and maybe undid Tyrone Daly there in his dismissal. Creary now to face his first delivery. Spoke to a couple of JC officials.
Here's his first ball. And a nice pleasant drive, but can't beat the bowler. Yeah. End of the over. We make it we'll tell you the score in a little bit. We're working on the system so that you could see the scores. 44 for 2, we're being told, after 8.
Yeah, had some discussions with a couple of JC officials, and we were talking about former national players, youth players, who didn't make the transition, and Andre Creary name came up, and he was classified along with Ramal Lewis, who went on to play for Guyana Jaguars for a number of years in the regional tournament, that Lewis and Creary were among maybe the best minds, youth minds, and captains that we've seen in recent times. Sad to say both are outside the national program now.
It's another over of spin. And we'll tell you who that is in a little while.
Shane Williams.
Shane Williams. That's a good delivery. You could see Alvin Williams winding up for the big drive and then having to check the shot. And there's him rehearsing that maybe he should have just came on the front foot and really just tonked it over mid-off. And that was a good delivery. Forcing Williams to be quiet off the back foot, but can't beat the man at that straight mid-wicket. And you can see Williams just waiting on anything over pitch. There's a long off, so he has to be careful in hitting down the ground. But we've seen him more inclined to hit towards long on. And that one, he's worked that out towards short fine leg. They take one, and that's all they'll get. Let's see the signal. And the umpire signaling leg by.
Just angling down the leg side. And again, Williams here just not looking to spin the ball. Here it is. Always going down the leg side. Just came off the outer portion of the pads there.
Williams remains on 23. Andre Creary now to face his first delivery. Very stylish. Andre Creary was so highly thought of a few years ago. He plays forward to a good delivery. Bang on target. That's where you want to be as an off-spinner.
He had an injury and was out of cricket for an extended period. There were thoughts that they would have had him on a program and get him back integrated in the sport.
And again, nice pleasant drive, head over the ball, front foot to the pitch. Didn't try to overhit it. Just looking to settle himself. And he's off the back foot. Looking for his first run. It's not there. And it's the end of over number 9. And it's 45 for 2.
Yeah, a quiet over, given what has happened. A couple of deliveries to Andre Creary, who is yet to get off the mark since getting to the crease. And one thing I can tell you about having spinners bowl, especially in the power play and early in the contest, that before you know it, you've completed 20 overs, and you're thinking, then where did all those deliveries go? So the JDF may be trying to sneak in a couple of different deliveries here. By the way, they have their second and third best bowlers in terms of wickets this season operating from either end. So they do see the importance in picking up another wicket here.
All right, so it's going to be spin again. Yeah, here's Kevin Bailey. And Williams struck on the pad. That's never going to be out, not in this life or maybe the one to come.
Yeah, Kevin Daly here trying to maybe, and not for the first time, just trying to maybe just sneak one through there on Alvin Williams. I reckon needs to be operating outside the off stump.
Yeah, this one is hitting the middle of Alvin Williams' bat out into the offside. He's on 23. His wicket is crucial, as Renata keeps mentioning. And this time the bowler chooses to come around the wicket. Umpire just letting Williams know that. Williams confidently forward.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to this strategy from Daly here, from around the wicket. Of course, the angle, bowling with a round arm, will certainly take the ball in towards Alvin Williams.
That's punched nicely up towards cover. No run there.
I think what he's building up for Orfil is to just get that delivery that pitches roundabout off stump and maybe drifts or turns away from Williams.
Oh, that could have been a catch at slip. Went very, very quickly. And Alvin Williams gets alive. He was on the back foot and trying to cut square of the wicket, slashing at it. And it would have been some catch if that was taken at slip. But you'd have to say that this was a chance.
Yeah, too close, much too close for Alvin Williams to cut. But he's always looking to score, and I think that's the thing with Alvin Williams. Always looking to score. Looks as if it's Dennis Bulai who is standing there at first to slip, who has taken some superb catches for the Jamaica Scorpions in the past, but that one beat him for pace.
Yeah, didn't react quickly enough. And this time Williams is working it round towards backward square and can't score. End of over number 10. And so the power play, the initial power play is over. The initial power play is over. And it's,
I think it's 49 for the last of 2. And Alvin Williams there on 27. So it shows if you're 49 for 2 and one batsman is there on 27, and it shows how important his contribution is to the total so far. By the way, the umpires are signaling the bowling power play, which is an additional 5 overs. And it prompts a change in bowling, and we'll have our first sight of Gordon Bryan. Picked up 4 wickets in the semi-final. Gordon Bryan has picked up 12 wickets overall.
I'm going to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot as soon as the music quiets down. All right, so my opportunity now to put you on the spot. 49 for 2 after 10. Who's leading?
Well, the adage is that you know if you're in a good position if you add another 2 wickets, and then if you think you would be comfortable. So in that sense, 49 for 4, I think that St. Mirror would be worried. So I think JDF
it's not 49 for 4 though. It's 49 for 2. I agree with you. If it's 49 for 4, then the fielding side would be the happier of the 2 teams. I think it's a really balanced game at the moment. The game has not gotten away from the JDF, but St. Mary scoring at around about 5 and over. Give her 4.9 and over if you want us to be exact. Here's the start of a new over. And Creary leaves alone.
Gordon Bryan here will bowl that nagging length outside the off stump, and I think that's his strength. Does get the ball to move around, can move the ball both ways, Gordon Bryan, but I just think it's the fact that he generally keeps the ball in or round about that good length area outside the off stump that plays on the mind of the batsman, and he's a patient bowler, and I think he can probably develop in one of our better bowlers in first-class cricket.
All right, Bryan again, and Creary works it into the onside, takes off for a single. A little hesitation initially, but the single was always on. And Creary is off the mark.
Finally gets off the mark, a delivery on the body, and he was able to drop into the onside. But again, you're just seeing there that the trust when it comes to running in between the wicket, not exactly there between these two. A couple of if, buts, and maybe in their short partnership so far, but it can develop, and most importantly, they need to keep wickets intact. They've lost 2 already, and I think that brings up the 50 as well. But Creary has to get some runs. Bryan, I think he would give everything to have the wicket of Williams here.
Yeah, from over the wicket. And Williams gets one. Easy single. Yeah, that was good run. Ball dropped at the feet. Just a look. Creary came through for the single. That's good cricket by St. Mary.
And if it is that you want to put pressure on the JDF, run singles like this will go a far way in doing that, because you've lost 2 wickets. You're round about 51 for the loss of 2. You're in over number 11, so still a long time to go. You can't be bogged down and one batsman be facing 4 or 5 deliveries from one bowler. There are gaps in the field, especially on the onside. There are singles to be had.
All right, so Bryan again to Creary. Squares him up a little bit. And into the offside. You could see that he had to make some late adjustments. That one touched down on a good length and maybe just shaping away, but Creary adjusted well. Such an easy player. Seems to have oodles of time. And you'd want him to be scoring a little bit quicker. Renato, I'll ask you to comment on that. Again, another easy single. Well, if you can't get boundaries, that's the way to go.
And I think that should be the mode of Andre Creary, because what you don't want to do as well, Orville, is that you don't want Alvin Williams to be stuck at one end and not facing a number of deliveries. You want him to be there. You want him to be facing a lot of deliveries, because so far he's your top run scorer.
Yes.
You don't want him to be stuck in a mode where he's not facing deliveries, he's not sweating. So I really appreciate this from Andre Creary, trying to get the quick singles to get Williams back on strike.
All right, so Brian will continue. And it's Williams on strike again. Good delivery. That's exactly where you'd want your fast bowler to be. End of over number 11. Williams on 28, Creary's on 2. And the total is 52 for 2 after 11.
So after 11 overs, 52 for 2. I think St. Mary, given what they're up against and the quality of this JDF team, that they would take that. Maybe 52 for 1, they would certainly take that. But having lost the second wicket, that of Tyrone Daly, they're not in a bad position. Teams generally don't get 300 runs in our local competitions, and on average anyway, so you're looking round about 260, 270.
So I'm going to put you on the spot again.
Daly to continue.
And no shot by Creary. Who is in the better position? 11.1 overs bowled. What's that? 53 for 2. Who is the happier captain? We'll ask Renato to examine that in a while, as Creary is trying to whip that one around. Some misfeeling there. They'll get the single. And he gets his third run. One more run to the St. Mary total.
And the tall, fast bowler there of Dennis, taking some while to get down to pick that one up. I think as long as, if I have Alvin Williams at the crease, I'm happy.
Will be interesting to see if there's any more flight to deliveries after being deposited over long on. The bowler has, for the most part, just tried to dart them in flat like that. And Alvin Williams having the presence of mind and the ability to work it away out towards mid-wicket for a single. No more flight to deliveries here, Renato. Is the bowler being just a little bit too cautious, or could he have gone? Could he still be going for more flight?
Disappointed, because you do have long on and long off in place.
Yeah. Creary back on strike. And punches out towards cover, can't score.
With long on and long off in place, you are thinking that certainly give the ball some air. If you've been taken for a boundary,
Creary is respectfully playing that back along the ground.
Yeah. So if you've been taken for a boundary, I don't think you would be displeased with that, because you're looking for the wicket.
Especially Alvin Williams' wicket. He's crucial to the cause. So an extra risk or two wouldn't go amiss. Creary on strike and leaves alone outside off, doesn't attempt a shot. End of over number 12. We make it 53 for 2.
So, in that sense,
54 for 2 instead.
If it is that you are going to take some risk, because here's the issue now, with the JDF, you're thinking, do you try to contain Alvin Williams or do you try to get him out? I don't think you can contain Alvin Williams. So it's best that you get him out. Now, how do we get Alvin Williams out? It might very much be that you might concede a 6 or a 4, but it leads to his wicket. So I think it's a risk maybe for an over or 2. There can be the discussion that, look, we are going to try to flight the deliveries, long on, long off in place, maybe a deep mid-wicket, a deep straight mid-wicket, and you'll flight the deliveries trying to tempt him to go over the top. Maybe that will lead to his wicket, but you can't contain him.
All right, so we are about to see the start of another over with Williams on strike. He's on 29, is it? And he's hit on the pad. Really. The appeal was stifled. That was never going to be given out. Leg by being signaled by umpire Chris Taylor. It's now 55 for 2. And we are in over number 13.
55 for 2. Alvin Williams, 29 from 38 in that 3 4s and a 6. So 18 runs from his 29 coming in boundaries.
All right, so here's Gordon. Oh, I had some gas on it. Where was that all along?
Has that surprise delivery, Gordon Bryan has gone short, but that's generally not his stock delivery. Gordon Bryan is more of a length bowler. There's also movements after that past the batsman as well. Just saying to Andre Creary that don't think all these deliveries will be pitched up.
Creary taps away and leaves alone outside of stump. Are you happy with the rate that Creary is scoring at? He is what? 3 from 14. You happy with
3
that?
from 15, round about scoring at 20 or thereabouts. Not sure. I'm not pleased with it, but given the circumstances, you remember you're halfway through over number 13. It's a 50-over game. There's a lot of time to make up.
Gordon Bryan again will bustle in. And again, Creary just content in just leaving the ball alone. He bats with the air of a man who is almost bored at the proceedings, as if I'm here. But I'm not overly impressed by anything that you're doing, Mr. Bryan. He just leaves alone with the ear of somebody who is saying, is that the best you have on offer?
I like that from Andre Creary, though, because Gordon Bryan, as I said before, will play on your patience outside the off stump. So he has to play within himself and not really go off those deliveries outside off stump.
Again, almost carbon copy of what happened before, with Creary saying, if that's where you're bowling, this is what I'm going to be doing. And Gordon Bryan saying, if that's the way you're going to be playing, that's what I'm going to be bowling. Classic stalemate.
By the way, these aren't driving length deliveries, by the way.
That is true.
So I think it's a smart thing here from Andre Creary to just leave those deliveries alone. Alvin Williams there may be demonstrating what Andre Creary should be doing, chipping down the wicket.
I don't think Andre Creary is going to be chipping on the wicket. He backs away. Alvin Williams at the other end, almost itching, you think, for an opportunity to get back on strike. And there's he just essaying and shadowing a few shots himself. But Creary is content at the moment not to force the pace. He's content to only go for opportunities when they are presented, not trying to fetch, not seeking scoring opportunities unless they are presented. Here's he again. No ball. You could hear the call from here. And that was the ball that was intended to knock the off pole over after those wide-ish deliveries. Free hit being signaled. And maybe now Creary can go down the wicket and have a go.
Yeah, I think if Creary gets a boundary here, he'll walk down to Gordon Bryan and say, got you. Gordon Bryan blinking first here, but I remember watching I think Pakistan playing against Australia in that test series in Pakistan recently.
Well, you'll tell us that story. Here's a free hit. Where will Creary look to hit this? He's back away. He was going for the pull shot to the short ball. Didn't make contact. Didn't make use of that free hit. End of over number 13, and it's 56 for 2.
Yeah, as I was saying, that in that series, there's a board in the Pakistan training room, dressing room, that says, be positive, be confident, and all those things were listed. And I say that to say, just looking, I think body language was also on that board. And I say that to say this, just looking at Andre Creary and even the attempted pull shot just now, there's really no intent in his body language. And that comes off where you might get some full deliveries, some half volleys, and you only get a single. You look at Alvin Williams, and he's positive from ball one. His attitude is right. He's always looking to score. You don't get that feeling from Andre Creary.
Yeah. Seems a touch casual for me. And it's going to be the start of another over with Alvin Williams on strike. He's on 29, 56 for 2. And he's driving. Lovely shot. That's 4 classic runs. Oh, that is as good a shot as what we played all day. Oh, he leaned on that. And that's a classic shot anywhere, anytime, any day of the week. Look at this. Oh, that was class.
It looks even better on the replay. I'll tell you that much. Full delivery. And that's what I'm talking about. Because of the positive approach from Alvin Williams, the bowlers are generally thinking, I can't bowl this delivery, I can't bowl that delivery because he will score. And you're now putting something in the bowler's mind at 61 for 2.
This time he leaves alone. Better delivery from, is this Dennis?
Yeah, Andre Dennis, 2.2 overs, none for 18 so far after conceding that boundary. But again, it's just a positive frame of mind, the positive mindset. I'm not so sure about the field set because there's a backward point, there's a short extra cover, but there is no cover, there's no real force. No, they're reinforcing the offside now.
Now it's 7-2 on the offside. So the line clearly is outside off. Can't afford to be too straight. So Dennis now must pitch outside off. Well, he went for the Yorker. That was well bowled. You'd have to say well played as well.
A good response from Dennis. Well played from Alvin Williams. And that Yorker, I don't think he expected it. And it is roundabout off stump. And the bat came down in time. Now Dennis now coming from around the wicket to the left-hander can't afford to strain now on the body because mid-wicket is vacant and that's runs all day for Alvin Williams.
Yeah, there's only a mid-on and a long leg, so there's acres of real estate between those two positions. Alvin Williams drives up towards extra cover. I think he probably got hold of that. Another Yorker length delivery though. And Andre Dennis showing that he could nail those Yorkers. Not a bad delivery in any form of cricket anytime.
Maybe broke his bat. Alvin Williams there doing some checks to ensure that the bat that has served him so well so far is still intact.
Dennis again. And that's driven up towards the man at that shortish mid-off position. He knocks it down well. And prevented Williams from getting a single.
Like the line from Dennis. This delivery again roundabout off stump, middle and off. And with a packed offside field, you're really asking Alvin Williams to thread that needle.
Again, lovely shot, but straight to the man at cover. And this is a classic demonstration of bowling to your field. And end of 14 overs. It's 60 for 2. And Williams on 33 and Creary on 3.
So once again, not for the first time, that we're seeing a boundary conceded off the first ball of an over and not going for any more runs. It happened in the first over of the day. And then again, so Alvin Williams getting a boundary. And that just may be something psychological from Alvin Williams to say that if I'm going to get a boundary, I'm going to target the first 3 deliveries of the over to get a boundary, and then I'll see if I can pick up a couple more runs in the over. If you operate that way, you're at least going at 4 runs and over.
And at this stage, they feel fairly content with that scoring rate. Maybe for the next, 6-8 overs or so. Brian starts another over. And again, good bowling in that channel, getting good carry through to the keeper as well. And the rather casual Creary was just content in leaving that. Played inside the line. I think initially wanted to play. And then realizing that the ball was touching down and not angling in back, and just allowed it through to the keeper.
Yeah, I don't want to say it, but the way Andre Creary looks, maybe it's just his demeanor, but it might not be long from now that something happens. Doesn't look as if he wants to be there.
Oh. The truth though, while he looks casual, it's not as if he's getting half volleys and short balls. He's getting deliveries that are reasonably well bowled. Alvin Williams coming down the track now to have a chat as if to say, I don't know, maybe you could knock one down somewhere and get me on strike. But the truth is they're bowling fairly decently at him. His body language is, for me, a little casual, but that's how some people are. You can't coach them out of it. Still a high-quality young batsman. And at this stage, he will just want to bide his time a little bit. They have reinforced the slip cord and after that delivery. And like I said, he's not really scoring rapidly, but that's not because they're not bowling well. Let's see what Brian does here. Again, another fairly decent delivery which he can't score. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying, Orville. It's always easier to shoot at a standing target. If it is that he's not moving around, he's not trying anything, his approach from every delivery is the same, there's no real pressure on Gordon Bryant to change his mode of operation in bowling to him. He's not walking down the pitch, he's not moving over to the offside, he's not making room, he's just there.
Brian again edging down to third man for a single. And that was inadvertent. Gets him off strike, but you'd have to say the bowler there would have won the psychological battle. Rather tortured innings of Andre Creary continue.
Yeah, and if you are going to do that, at least get singles. He's 4 from 23. Alvin Williams is 33 from 44. And the last 5 or so runs from Alvin Williams, minus the boundary, have come at a very slow rate, not how he started. So he too has slowed down because he's only facing 1 or 2 deliveries as we look at some of the supporters here at Sabina Park.
I got a feeling that the turnout may just improve a little bit. It's a nice, warm, sunny afternoon. I think that when JDF starts the bat, there may be a few more. Williams from Brian. Oh, he drives. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Oh, I'm running out of words to describe that. That was majestically played. Granted, it was a half volley. It's never the hardest ball to hit, but you still have to get bat and ball. Lovely shot.
Now you ask the question, why is it that Gordon Bryan is able to bowl consistent back-of-a-length deliveries to Andre Creary, but his first delivery to Alvin Williams is a half volley outside the off stump? And again, it's just the mindset in bowling to Alvin Williams. He's always looking to score. Andre Creary will just stay there and accumulate deliveries, and the bowlers are able to develop a plan against Andre Creary. It could very much work in the end, but for now, JDF would be happier bowling to Andre Creary than it is Alvin Williams.
Gonna put you on the spot again after this delivery. Won't give you a clue as to what that is. Brian this time from round the wicket. And that worked out towards the man that long leg. That's 4 more. I don't think he intended it to go there, but it's 4 nevertheless. And Williams now beginning to look quite ominous here. Renato.
Into the 40s now. Alvin Williams, 41. 70 for the loss of 2 after over number 15. But the first 4 deliveries off the over, 1 run. The last 2 deliveries, both to Alvin Williams off that over, 8 runs. It shows positive intent. And those are 2 full deliveries. Find it a right-hander as opposed to a left-hander. But again, it's just a positive intent from Alvin Williams.
It's a water break. It's 70 for 2. I did ask you a few overs ago who was in the ascendancy. I'm sure you will agree now that St. Mary, especially with Alvin Williams looking quite dangerous, would be in the ascendancy. I've been a little discomforted by that one, Renato.
Yeah, a good delivery there. Andre Creary being talked up, not given any room. I know this is another spell because things generally happen shortly after a drinks break or shortly after an interval. So he has to reset, get his mind together, Andre Creary.
Creary really just steers this one nicely out towards third man. He seems to do everything with so little effort. Makes batting look ridiculously easy. And that's 1 more run to the total. Makes it now 71 for 2 from 15.2.
He might tell you that once he's there, that he has the ability to make runs. You can't make runs in the dressing room. So he just needs to weather this early storm from the JDF bowlers and then kick on towards the end. Alvin Williams there, 41. Remember, 4 half centuries, 2 centuries, 7 games.
Here's Williams on strike. That's a good delivery, good single. And that's, they could come back for the second. And that's one of the things that you have to give Andre Creary some credit for. He was responsible for calling Williams through. Might not be scoring rapidly, but he's not refused to take the quick singles whenever they are an offer. And he's helping Williams to go along. Williams goes up to 43 with that. And another half century certainly on the cards.
Yeah, positive running, quick call, early call, and that led to an additional run as Dennis there was kicking the ball away.
What will he serve up? Oh, he's really just trying to bludgeon that through the covers. Gets an inside half. And again, Andre Creary calling through for another relatively easy single. And Creary comes back on strike.
So a slip still in place. And the infielders are pretty close.
Couldn't work the ball into the gap. Still hasn't played a shot in anger, has Andre Creary. He's still going along his own merry way, but his team is not in a bad position. Maybe they know something about the depth of the St. Mary batting that I don't know. Maybe he feels his presence is crucial. But I'm not seeing Alvin Williams. I'm not hearing the St. Mary people urging him on. So they seem to be fairly satisfied with how he's going at the moment. He drives down towards Medan. This could be tight now. He's a single in lane.
Looks to be a good judge of a single, Andre Creary. And now since that interval has looked a little bit more positive. It's if even in his running. So maybe he was just waiting for that 15 over period, because you don't know what the plan is for St. Mary. Maybe they're saying that we want to be round about 70, 80 after 15 overs. Then we reassess. We want to be maybe 150, 160. after 30 overs, and then we can push on from there. So it may be a plan, but we'll have to see for the next couple of overs if this continues.
Now, what would be interesting is what would be his approach be if Alvin Williams gets out. I'm sure he probably would change a gear, but he's quite content at the moment to play second fiddle. And here's the start of another over from Gordon Bryant. To the rather obdurate Creary. And again, takes a single. But you're right, since the water break, he's not being aggressive by any means, but it's looking to be a little bit busier. Or is it that they're now bowling a lot straighter to him as opposed to that channel where he was leaving a ball?
Could be a little bit of both. And then there's a little bit more space on the onside. If you get the ball, drop the ball into the onside, there's a single on offer. But looks to me a little bit more positive. And now the offside being stacked here for the next delivery to Alvin Williams from Gordon Bryant.
It's a 6-3 offside field. So Brian wouldn't want to be anywhere close to the stumps. Oh, I thought he missed out on that short ball. Was trying to just steer it past that one at point.
Is that the first time that we've seen him missed out on a short delivery?
He's usually gone for the pulls, but that one was a little bit too wide. But it's clear he's not against hitting the pull shots when they are short. I haven't really seen him cutting too often. He's driving and getting an edge out to the third man. And brings Creary back on strike. 45 now is Alvin Williams. And although he's scoring pretty quickly is Alvin Williams, he's not being reckless about it. He's setting out his stars, one would think, to bat all the way through. So he's scoring quickly, but you would say relatively safely at the moment as well.
At 45 from 50 deliveries, so he's going at 95 runs
without appearing to be taking undue risks.
Yeah.
Which is what good batsmen do. They score quickly without appearing.
He's a player, Alvin Williams.
Certainly at this level he is. Here's Creary. And again, just dropping and running. And I think at some stage, the fielding team has got to say, listen, no more easy singles on offer. I think they're missing a trick. Creary is not going to be bludgeoning anything. There was a man at a wideish cover while he was facing. I think when Creary is on strike, certainly you've got to prevent those drop and runs within the circle.
Before the drinks break, we spoke about Andre Creary at least rotating the strike, and he's certainly done that. In my account, 4 singles since then.
Brings Alvin Williams back on strike on 45. It's Brian who is on the way. Well, that's wide, down the leg side. There was a yelp from Brian, who was disappointed with himself. And he has a right to be. That was really badly lined.
So he was 4 from 23. He's now 8 from 29. So he's doubled his score in 6 deliveries since that drinks break.
Maybe he needed some fluids to get him going. Here's Brian again. Good delivery. What you'd call proper test match length. And that's my point about Brian. He's not going fetching for deliveries. He's scoring quickly, but he's prepared to block out the deliveries that he's not comfortable with. But once he decides to go aggressive, he's giving it everything. But you get the feeling that he's still playing well within himself.
Yeah. On form, certainly the top batsman in our local league, Alvin Williams.
Oh, he is whipping this one out towards fine leg, or towards long leg really. Not convinced that that is where he intended it to go. But that's the end of another over. And after 17, it's 80 for 2.
80 for 2 there, as we will see the reintroduction of spin. The first time since we've had that drinks break. And now JDF certainly, I think, now trying to pick up another wicket here.
A long mid-pitch conference between Williams and Creary. God alone knows what they could be discussing at this point in time. As Williams comes back on strike, he's on 46. He's one scoring shot away from another half century. They're taking some time over the field placing. So Alvin Williams on 46 will whip this one out towards mid-wicket. Easy single. And he stood up to a short ball and slapped it around towards mid-wicket. Brings Creary back on strike. He goes to 47 with that. Creary on 8. Gets back on strike. And Creary punches down the ground off the back foot for another easy single. The run's coming relatively easy at the moment, with very little alarms. Creary goes to 9. Williams back on strike. Can't beat the man at that short mid-wicket position as he was on the back foot. He was trying to just work it a little bit squarer than that. This time he's forward and that can't score. They are appealing, and Marlon Sanders is the bowler, by the way. Marlon Sanders, we've seen quite a few off spinners in this JDF team. Makes about the third one. And Williams off the back foot. Works it square into the onside. And a good return. But the single was always on. Takes him to 48. And Creary comes back on strike. Here it is again. Worked away quite pleasantly. So now it's 18 overs gone. And it's 82 for 2 after 18. With Williams on 48 and Andre Creary on 9.
So Dennis Bulai seems as if he'll be operating. First time we're going to see Dennis Bulai in this contest. But Saunders, another one of those players. I remember Saunders from the University of Technology, playing in the intercal competition there at UTech, a pretty handy batsman as well. And now we're seeing the fourth spinner being used now by the JDF in their innings, and that's amazing because we've completed 18 overs. We've seen 3 seam bowlers in Burton, Dennis and Leslie. Well, 4 because we've seen Gordon as well.
Indeed. Well, let's watch Dennis Bulai's first delivery, and it's stroked pleasantly up towards cover for an easy single. Williams is now 49. And the 50 seems to be there for the taking. Andre Creary comes back on strike.
So we've seen 8 bowlers being used, 4 seam bowlers, 4 spinners. It speaks about the depth and the quality of this JDF team.
Now let me see if the captain of the JDF team will allow those drop and runs from Creary again. Certainly somebody should be coming in tighter, especially on the onside.
And talking about bowlers, we could very much see a 9th because Deesmar Anderson can bowl as well.
Well, that one went to backward square. There was no run there. Why would you have a man at deep mid wicket for Andre Creary at this point in time? Maybe can you explain that? And a man on the sweeper boundary.
There's also long on in place.
Why on earth is that happening? He has not played a shot in anger all day, and he's batting with mid wicket all the way back, long on back, deep cover. Maybe I'm not seeing something. He would have to start hitting for that to happen, or that's the one that goes the other way. He was coming back, expecting the ball to spin back to him to bash it over maybe mid-wicket, but the left-hander's googler that spins away. But explain that one to me, Renata Brown. This is a quick single, and even that, I think they should have been a little bit tighter on that. But why on earth do you have deep mid-wicket, deep cover, long off, long on to a man who has not played one shot in anger in all the time he's been there?
By the way, he's yet to run a double. All his runs so far, all 10, been singles.
That's exactly my point. And they're appealing maybe an inside edge. I remember when I was just learning the art of cricket, my captain used to say, if you have the same exact field for the 2 batsmen, then you're not doing a good job as a captain, because it's impossible for the 2 batsmen at the crease to be batting exactly the same way, scoring exactly the same areas with exactly the same plan. And when Williams on strike, in terms of field placing, there's very little difference from when Creary's on strike. And that's puzzling for me.
Yeah, and most definitely. You saw also the flag fluttering in the wind there, and that wind is actually coming across the strip. So it's coming from South Camp Road across towards the right wing of the north stand. And that's an area that's empty that maybe Creary can target.
He's driving out towards Langan. Certainly Langan should be at mid-on.
That wouldn't have been a single, but with Langan on the ropes, that's an easy single for Creary.
He has. I don't get it. I mean, this is just not on. And they're appealing, but he was much too far down for that to be a serious appeal.
And it's a double blow for the JDF as well, because with each single taken from Creary, you now put Alvin Williams on strike as well.
Williams punches out towards Medan, and that's his 50. Has been a very responsible innings. He's had one half a chance, but good knock from Alvin Williams.
Yeah, a superb half century from Alvin Williams, his 5th so far this season, and his 50 comes up of 61 deliveries, 6 fours and a 6, so he's striking at 81.97, and a well-needed half century from his team.
Creary's forward, and no run. 4 people, well, 5 inside the circle. And now they're asking the mid-on to come in a little bit closer.
It's a short, straight mid-on. But they still have long on in place.
And he works that behind square. It runs down to the fine leg boundary. Was that a good stop? The umpire may want to have a look. I think he picked up the ball while he was still over the boundary. Now the umpire signals 4.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous, because, and let's look back at it, It was work done towards fine leg. He did some fantastic work in pulling back the ball in time. But I think where the problem comes in is that in picking, let's look at it. So he stopped the ball before it got across the boundary. Then he does this. Well, you missed it there. So he picked up the ball while he was still outside of the boundary.
Yeah. And undid all the hard work that he did prior to that. So 91 for 2 now from, what's that, 20?
Yeah, that's 20 overs.
20
so
overs.
if this was a T20, here's another look at it. Hopefully we'll see it this time. So he gives chase. He pulls back the ball there. And then he does this.
Can't do that. Can't pick it up while your feet are outside the ropes. All right, so here's Bulai to Williams again. Full toss, and he hits that out towards Langan for a single. I think he'd feel he missed out on that. He could have hit that virtually anywhere and hit it straight to the man at Langan for a single.
Missed out there. Had he tugged that maybe about a meter or two to the left or right of the man at Langan, as he were, it would have been 4 runs.
So Andre Creary, they call him Quinty, just backs away, wasn't ready. Dead ball signaled by the umpire. Works that nicely out towards Langan. Just irks me to see these easy singles on offer as if the JDF is content. He will have to start going over the top. If he tongues you over the top 2 or 3 times, then fine. But I'm not giving those easy singles.
So the JDF might think that the singles aren't hurting them.
Well, we'll talk about that after this delivery. Punched out to short cover, no run.
But given the boundary from the last ball of the previous over and 2 singles from the first 2 balls of this over, that's 6 runs in the last 4 deliveries.
Williams respectfully forward. The thing with Belai, he does bowl the odd bad ball, as we saw with that full toss early in the over, but he does have some magic balls as well. Again, full and edged and knocked down by the man at slip. Did he get back to that?
Might have gotten back to that, and good stop there by the fielder. Looked to be late Leslie.
Oh, there was no yelp as if there was a chance involved, so probably there was no touch. Bulai again. Oh, reverse sweep being pulled out. That's a clever shot. That's cheeky, but it's brilliant. Oh, Alvin Williams now playing with utmost confidence. Pulled out the reverse sweep. And that was cleverly played, expertly played, and takes his total now up to 55.
Yeah. 55 years. By the way, Andre Creary is 16. So in the last 6 overs, he's added 12 runs. And those 12 runs have come from 16 deliveries. So it's almost going a run a ball since the water break.
Yeah.
And it's been mostly in singles.
Except for that tickle down to fine leg for 4. He's not really done anything dramatic down the ground. But yet we still have a long on and a long off in place. And I know it seems we are overdoing it. But we have to call it the way we see it. That short Medan is a good field placing. It says you're not dropping it straight on the onside and getting a single. They are adjusting long on to come a little bit finer.
And Saunders trying to get his field right, just taking long on to a more straighter position.
Creary's on the back foot and pushing it back to the bowler. He edges that, takes a single. The other thing, Renato, if you have a fieldsman who has not fielded a delivery for 6, 7, 8, 9 overs, then something is wrong. That man at deep cover to Creary, he's been completely out of the game. I can understand long on, long off, because at least he's showing the tendency to go on the back foot and hit straight down the ground. But he's not opened up towards cover. We'll comment on that. Down the ground comes Williams and bangs it straight. That's 4. He could take the game away from the JDF. Lovely shot.
A brilliant shot. And that's his 8th boundary in his 59, Alvin Williams. And it takes a lot of pressure off Andre Creary. It allows him to deal in singles mostly. The 100 comes up.
And he's forward. Can't get the single. Upset with himself. Marlon Allen, the bowler. And that's a drive. Lovely shot. They could come back for 2 if this doesn't run in the way into the boundary. In fact, it does. That was some shot. And now Alvin Williams in full flow. Wasn't the classic vertical back drive. He almost slapped it past cover. And 4 lovely runs once more.
And that's 8 runs from the last 2 deliveries from that Saunders over. And you put that with a single from Creary, and you're looking at 9 runs coming from that over. So they're going well now. They're past the 100 mark, by the way. This St. Mary team, they're 106 for the loss of 2, and we've just completed 22 overs. They're going at 4.8, and at this rate, they get to 282, which on this track, I think, is a good total.
Bulai to Creary. He's forward. Can't score. They're coming a little bit tighter to Creary. They are walking in a little bit tighter. The man at short mid-wicket and the man at short cover are just closing in at the point of the liver, so they are aware that Creary is just at the moment looking to knock 1. But certainly the man at deep cover, I think, should be in the circle as well.
Yeah, I agree, especially with Bulai spinning the ball in towards Creary. But maybe they're giving him that space to look and think that, well, this could very much be a scoring area, and the ball spin back through the gate.
Well, he's working that down towards third man. Could this go all the way? It will not. He'll come back for the second. And he's looking a lot more fluent, is Andre Creary. He's just nurdling and nudging around, down behind fine leg, down to the right of the man at slip.
Talk about intent.
Yeah. He looks to be a different customer since the water break. Even when he gets a full toss like that, still no real anger to the shot. Just prepared at the moment to just work it around and allow the more aggressive Alvin Williams back on strike.
So again, that's another delivery where with long on inside the circle, that's not even a single. So I just can't understand the plan from the JDF.
Bulai bowls and Williams is forward. And drops it down short on the onside. Doesn't score. 1 or 2 more spectators trickling in. And it's Bulai again. Full toss. And Bulai does well to stop in his follow-through.
Spectators catch a couple of persons shouting in the stands. Definitely a bump ball.
Oh, that was a good delivery. The keeper is appealing. Well, was that an appeal or was that a gentle inquiry, as they say? But genuinely beaten. That one spinning across. Williams didn't get the edge.
Just playing inside the lines here, Alvin Williams. And that one, that's maybe the first ball that we've really seen spun from Dennis Bulai. Was well flighted as well, and the ball now at least 12 overs old, so maybe starting to spin now, and if anyone can get this ball to spin, it's Dennis Bulai. We'll see the reintroduction of pace, and it looks to be Burton will be coming back, bowled his first over, the second over of the day, and then was taken out of the attack.
All right, so the start of a new over and another scampered single. And that was another single to Creary and brings Alvin Williams back on strike. Williams, who is going well at the moment, on 63. Creary is on 20, by the way. And the St. Mary team will probably be the happier of the two teams at the moment. These two are going quite well. And the JDF would want to break this partnership as early as possible. Steered out into the offside. Creary wants a single. Williams says no.
Tyrone Burtney here, coming back for his second over. His first over, I think, went for 9.
Oh, that's down the leg side. Will there be a signal for 4, or is that buys? It's leg buys. 4 leg buys. Tyrone Burton straying too far down the leg side. And his team suffers the consequences of that.
Yeah, runs not only in the bat of Alvin Williams, they're in his pads as well. This one coming off the outer portion and going down to a vacant fine leg position. And again, since that drinks break, the tide has certainly shifted. And the JDF looks a little bit down in the field. They looked void of ideas.
Oh, he cuts and can't beat the man at point. Again, disappointed with himself. He plays the pull shot well and hasn't been really able to score when the balls are wide outside off, either missing or finding the fielders.
Yeah, but did get an outside edge off a delivery. I believe at that time it would have been from Daly. That went for 4. Taps
away again. And works this one out to that short fine. And again another no ball. So another free hit for, there's a signal from the umpire.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is the second no ball from Burton. And he's now in his second over. Bowled a no ball that was dispatched for a boundary. At that time, it was by Orlando Lions to get off the mark.
Where do you think that Williams will try to heave this? My bet, dead straight or slightly offside, maybe long off.
Well, the last free hit no ball he bowled was a short delivery.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, dead straight, maybe over wide, long off. Maybe I did get that one pretty right, but that was helped by the bowler pitching right up.
Probably should have gone for the short pitch delivery.
Getting himself spanked over widest long off and all the way for 6.
And it's just the real talent of Alvin Williams. And I don't think a lot of persons appreciate this, might not appreciate this inning so far. It has been chanceless. That's one. But he has not missed out on opportunities if the balls are short or too full or just wide outside the off stump, allowing him to free his arms. And that again was another superb shot.
So Williams continues to create some problems here for the JDF. He's on 69 at the moment. Here's Burton, and he's driving. And knocked down by the bowler in his follow through. End of over number 24, is it? It's 121 for 2.
It's an interesting over. A couple of runs coming from that over. And we might very much see Burton being taken out again. As I said before, 8 bowlers used by the JDF. And Dietmar Anderson can bowl a little bit of seam. He's not express, but has enough pace. Generally bowls a lot of short deliveries as well. So an abundance of riches when it comes to bowling for the JDF team. But it's where do you bowl them? Because you get Gordon Bryan. You might not want to bowl Gordon Bryan for another over just yet.
Bulleye starts a new over with Creary coming forward. And I'm counting the amount of deliveries or the amount of overs here in Renata Brown where deep cover is brought into play. I'm making it now maybe about 15 overs where he hasn't fielded one single delivery. I'm not seeing the man at deep mid-wicket fielding anything when Creary's on strike either. That's just pushed back to the bowler, no run.
Yeah, the only time long on and long off comes in play is whenever they're taking a single.
They have brought a man a little bit straighter at mid-on, and there's a man tight on the offside as well. So they are saying, we don't want any singles, but that's a lovely shot. Oh, that's well fielded. Down at wideish long off, maybe deep extra cover. Lovely shot from a bad ball. But Creary for once punching for 2. And maybe he's now growing in confidence.
And looks to be Gilzine who did the fielding there. So he's not just in the team for his batting. And Devin Gilzine, but nice footwork on the boundary there. But maybe the first real firm drive that we've seen from Andre Creary in this innings.
He gets a short ball and maybe thinking about pulling the ball, maybe just staying down a little bit. And he worked it into the onside for a single. So he's scoring a lot more freely. He goes up to 24 and brings the dangerous Alvin Williams back on strike. He drives up towards long on and gets another easy single. And the Creary comes back on strike.
So it's starting to get a little bit dangerous now for the JDF at 125 for 2.
He's forward. It's another over where deep cover, deep mid-wicket, not brought into play. I just think that this is rather ordinary captaincy, if the truth be told. But it is what it is after 25, so we've completed half the overs here, Renato. And it's 125 for 2. And even by my own shaky mathematics, that means we're going at exactly 5 and over at the moment. Good or bad from your estimation?
Yeah, at 5 runs and over, I would take that if I'm St. Mary. I would definitely take that. Another 125 runs from here takes you to 250, which I would think would be a very challenging total for this JDF team. But with Alvin Williams there, if he stays there for the last 5 over or 10 overs, you're also looking at 300 runs.
Yeah, they're looking to up the ante. I think that the last 25, once they have wickets in hand, they'll probably score quicker than the first 25.
Williams comes back.
And he runs down the track, hits down towards Langan. And could we be seeing Alvin playing with a little bit more aggression in the last half of the St. Mary innings? He moves up to 6-70 now. And Creary comes back on strike. 71 actually. And Creary comes back on strike. A little mid-pitch conference. You want to guess what that conversation could be about? Get me on strike, Creary. Nick 120 and get me back on. It wouldn't be bad advice at all. So let's see. Yeah. He gets one. Well, he probably will get more than one. In fact, it's an easy two.
A really good shot there from Andre Creary. Didn't try to overhit the ball because had he done so, it would have only been one.
Well, he never tries to overhit any ball, really. So you're not telling us anything new. But I get the point you're making. He's such an easy stroke player. And while we were a little bit critical of him earlier, he is batting with a lot more intent. Here is he. This one's a good one. Can't score. Quicker, flatter, outside the off.
By the way, in case you're just joining us, the Jamaica Defence Force would have won the toss and decided to bowl. Orlando Lyons was the first to be dismissed. He was caught Gordon Bryan, and that came off the bowling of Leighton Leslie. He made 5, and then Tyrone Daly was bowled by O'Shane Williams for 13. So at that time it was 36 for 2. So since then, these two, they've added 94 runs for the 3rd wicket.
And Creary forced to be respecting the last 3 deliveries. Unable to score. And maybe struck on the pad, but he was well outside off playing a shot. And the end of another over. And at the end of over number 26, it's 128 for 2.
Again, Dan just impacting the pads outside the line of the off stump. And he knows what he's doing, Andre Creary. Remember, you're talking about a former national youth representative, represented the West Indies as well. So you're looking at someone who has experience. And as I said before, many persons felt that himself and Ramal Lewis, in most recent times, as far as captaincy and the knowledge of the game and being able to pick the right moments, are compared to someone like Tamar Lambert, who is by far our most successful captain at the regional level. As captain of a team that won 5 straight championships between 2008 and 2012. So that's the kind of realm that Andre Creary was considered in, and probably is still.
Bulleye starts another over. Williams wants a single as it's peeling off towards that square leg position. And there's no run in that.
And I understand was very good friends with Jermaine Blackwood, Andre Creary.
And the man called Shalumba, as Williams just works it out towards long on and takes off for another easy single, moves on to 72. And these two continuing to make run scoring look rather easy. And JDF need a wicket. They don't want these two to be there in the last 10 overs when they are well set. Probably by then, Williams will have a century, maybe Creary will have a half century. You don't want these two to be batting at the death. Definitely
not. And I don't think that they have a preference in the wicket that they would want at this point. I think they would even take the wicket of Andre Creary at this point. As Chulumba, that's Alvin Williams, does some repair work on his inner garment.
Bulleye punched off the back foot straight back at the bowler. Again, maybe a little quiet word exchange, but he wanted to be a little bit more aggressive with that shot, was Creary. A lot more business-like off the back foot. And he's pulling in the air, caught. Oh, that was a giving away of a wicket, if ever there was one. That was soft. Hitting it straight to the man at mid-on off the back foot. Creary, after all the hard work, gifts his wicket to the opposition, and St. Mary has lost their third wicket. It's now 129 for 3.
Yeah, maybe commentators curse Orville, but did say that JDF needed a wicket, that they would even take the wicket of Andre Creary. But I tell you what, had that been the previous over, it would have been one bounce to long on for a single. So they've replaced long on, they've taken him into the circle, and that led to the wicket of Andre Creary, because now what happened, you can no longer push the ball to long on for a single, you'd have to go over the top to get a single. And I think the JDF missed a trick early on and allowed him to get some runs, and the partnership just falling 5 runs short of a century stand, but a good partnership nonetheless.
Yes, it was. And
so Sheldon Price is the new batsman. You're looking there. Gordon Bryan took the catch. And as I said before, the first time that they made the decision, as we look back at it, that's the first time in a long time that the man at long on wasn't back on the fence. And it resulted in a wicket.
so it's a new batsman at the crease. Who do we have?
Sheldon Price.
Sheldon Price, the new batsman.